Hey everyone, we're working on school calendars today, getting these school calendars ready to go for the upcoming school year, and the potential of creating the school calendar here in Google Sheets and then using Google Apps script to put these calendar days into your Google Calendar and then being able to share that with the whole school and with the community. So what we're going to do is that we need to make sure most school districts require 180 days, and so it's just helpful if we can start a counter of days. And so what we're going to do, I'm just going to put in that this is the first day. In this cell, I want to take this day and add 1 to it. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hover over that corner there. I'm just going to drag down, and I think we've got to drag down to 181 because we have a header row, and there we go. That's 180 days of school. Okay, now let's go over to the calendar, and we'll see that September 1st, a lot of schools in the Northeast start in September 1st. So let's put that date, that's a weekday, September 1st, 2020. And we can do the same thing where we can add, we can take this cell, add 1 to it, and you're going to get September 2nd. It works just like numbers. The dates work that same way. But the problem with doing that is if we just keep adding numbers, we're going to wind up with school on Friday, Saturday, and because we'll just be adding 3, 4, 5. And that's not what we want. What we do want to use is a function called weekday. What the weekday does is when it has a reference to a date, I'm going to end parentheses here, hit enter, it's going to return a number. And it's going to tell you that September 1st is a 3. And what that means, September 1st, if Sunday is 1, Monday is 2, a Tuesday is 3. And so right away we can tell that using the weekday function, we can tell that what day of the week these particular days are. And this is going to be helpful because a lot of schools are going with hybrid models where they're going to Monday and Tuesday is going to be a different particular group of students. Wednesdays and Thursdays, Fridays, different groups of students, not necessarily alternating, but depending on the pattern of days of the week. And so if we can know what a particular day of the week is, we can assign teams or certain values to particular days of the week and do it in an automatic way. So the formula, that what we need to look out for is that when the formula comes across a Friday, when weekday comes up with a Friday, so that would be Sunday is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When it discovers a 6, it's going to have to add 4, 5. It's going to have to add a 3 to that formula in order to get to the next Monday. So let's give this a try. So we're going to use an if statement, and we're going to say if the weekday of this cell is equal to a 6, we're going to add 3 days. That gets us through the weekend and to the next Monday. And if it's not a 6, we're just going to add 1. So we've got the formula in the cell here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to drag this down. And actually we're going to drag it past 180 because we need to account for the end of school. So that's to the end of that's to the middle of July, and that's fine. Most schools go to sometime in June, and that'll cover us. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we need to look at a particular school district's calendar and figure out which weekdays the schools are closed. and not include the weekend dates, of course, but just include the weekday dates and there's no formula for this. You just have to go through the calendar and copy them down. So I did that for a local school district. I included the days off. So these are the school district is not going to start Monday on September 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, or the 4th, and the 7th is Labor Day. We've got Columbus Day, days off in November, Thanksgiving, winter holidays, spring break, all this stuff, Memorial Day, all this stuff is reflected in this list of dates. So we're just going to copy these over. Again, that's kind of like grudge work, just having to go through a calendar and identify which days are weekdays that there's no school. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put a formula here that's going to compare this list of dates and take away this list of dates and list what is left. And for that, this is a similar formula that we've used to compare a student roster, and then the students that were present, and then it lists what students were absent. Also used it with the New Jersey quarantine situation, where we have all the states in the country in one column and then the states that are restricted, and then you're left with the states that are not restricted. And so that formula, I put it over here. It's a little bit complicated. It's an array formula that compares the B column and the A column. And so I'm just going to copy this text here. I'm going to go back over here and we'll put it here. So now in this case, it's comparing the wrong column. We need to compare the C column to the B column. So let's just change these references to the B column. If we do this, it'll make the changes. And now you see it's listing them as numbers, because in Google Sheets, a date actually has what's called a serialized number, and the date it's just this number. But when we change the formatting, let's change the formatting on this column. We're going to change it. Going to change it to a date, and now you'll see it is correct. Okay, so let's just check this out. So it says school dates are 9/8, 9/9, 9/10, 9/11. 9/8. Yes, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The school is not in session. 7th is Labor Day. 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we have the weekends, 12 and 13. And then we're going to be back in school 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And that works. So if we scroll down to this end of this column, scroll down to the end of the column, you see we're going to go pretty late in the school year, but we really only need to get to 180, so let's just cut this off. Just select this and delete it. Oh, we can't actually, because it's an array formula and you can't delete that. So if we deleted, let's see, if we deleted these, let's see, school goes as late as, actually, I can compare it. We need to go to the 17th. So let's go up here, we'll delete these, and there we go. That made that change. Okay, good. So it's all been labeled. Okay, so this column now represents the list of actual school days for the school year. Actual days that the schools are going to be in session. Now this next column, this is where we get into the hybrid team assignments, where you're splitting your school into two different sections, perhaps based on letters of last name, like the alphabet A through L on one day, and then M through Z on another day. And a lot of schools are naming these teams by the school colors, and so I'm going to go with, let's say there's a maroon day and a gray day. We have these team names in here. We're going to select them, put the arrow over the dot in the corner, scroll down, copy and drag down all the way to 180, and you'll see it has now placed all of these teams in an alternating maroon and gray fashion. So it has assigned a team name to each day of the school year. And with this information, we'll be able to, in the next video, take the date and the team assignment and put them into Google Calendar automatically. And that's a little bit involved. It uses Google App Scripts, but I'll walk you through that process. Okay, now there are other school districts that are doing not just an alternating day schedule, but they're doing a schedule that is based on the days of the week. So for instance, you might have, there's one school I know about where Monday and Tuesday is a team of students, Wednesday is a virtual day, and Thursday and Friday is another team of students. So that school that has the schedule of hybrid teams that are assigned by days of the week will need to use the weekday function, and the weekday function will return the numbers. Sundays are 1s, Monday is a 2, Tuesday is 3, Wednesday is 4, Thursday is 5, and Friday is 6. That's what the weekday function returns. And so what we'll need to do is make a little chart here so that if it's a Monday, the maroon team will be at school. Tuesdays, the maroon team's at school. Wednesday is a virtual learning day for all students. Thursdays and Fridays are gray team. So what we'll do is we'll be using this chart in a Vlookup function. And what I like to do is select this chart and make it a named range. And so we're going to call this the weekly chart. This way it makes it easier to use this name, this named range weekly chart, in our Vlookup function when we're ready to do that. So what we're going to do is let's copy this information here to another sheet. Let's put this here, and then let's copy the school days column. And this is a very important thing right here. The school days column, instead of just copying it and pasting it, we're going to paste it special, and we're going to paste the values only. If I were to just paste it in, it wouldn't work because that column of dates is based on that array formula, and that array formula is based on having the other columns there. And so we just want to paste the values in. So here we go. This is our list of values. So now what we need to know is which day of the week any of these dates are. So what we're going to use is the weekday formula, and we're going to take a look at this date and find out what day of the week it is. So let's see, that's September 8th. September 8th is a 3. Then we're going to go over to our named range, and we're going to see that it's a Tuesday, and because it's a Tuesday, it's going to be assigned to maroon. So we're going to put all of these things together here. So what we're going to have is the dot, we're going to drag down, and we get to here. And so this is going to have all of the weekdays listed. We're going to use the Vlookup function, and the Vlookup function, the information says that we need the search key. Well, the search key is going to be the number 3 from this cell. Then the range is going to be our name range that we had created earlier. And then we need to know which column that we're going to take return of that named range. And which column will it be? This is the first column. Second, it'll be the third column. So let's go back to this. All right, so let's put this all together. So we've got, this is our search key. Our named range is called weekly chart, and it's going to return, we said, the third column. Let's see if that works. Yes, it did. It worked. Okay. Now what we're going to do is hover over that dot and drag down. And we drag down to 180, and now we have a listing of all of the team assignments based on days of the week for this particular school district. All right, so now what we'll do is we're going to go a step further, and let's copy Shift Control down. Let's copy all of this over to this another sheet, because we're going to show a slight modification of this chart. And so here we go. We're just gonna, let's just delete that. What we're going to do is paste special, and we're going to paste the values only again. Remember this column, these are just serialized dates, and so we need to change that to being a real date. Okay. Now, there's another school district that is doing things a little bit differently. And what they're doing is, their modified plan is that their maroon team is in on Monday and on Tuesday. Wednesday is the gray team, and Thursday is the gray team. Friday is the maroon team again, but then next Friday, it will be the gray team. And so that difference in alternating Fridays, we'll put this here, Friday, and it'll be the second Friday. And so that's going to make things a little bit different. So let's do this. There is no weekday for number 8, so I put that down as the second Friday in this chart. So let's make this a named range. Named range. We're going to call this modified weekly chart. Okay, so we've got that name range there. Let's go back to this. So our team assignments, we're going to do this the same way. We're going to use the Vlookup, same way that we had done with the other one. This is our search key. Our name range is called modified weekly chart. We're going to return which column is it? This is the first column, second, third, it's the fourth column. We want to return the fourth column and parentheses, and that's correct. And let's drag this down. And here we go. It's been labeled now with this modified weekly format, except for the Fridays. And I really thought long and hard about this, and I couldn't come up with a good way of those alternating Fridays unless we were to use Google Apps Script to generate this column of numbers. That would be the only way, because it's not able to count and know that it's the first Friday and that this is the second Friday. And so what we're going to do, because we couldn't do that, is I'm going to select all of this, and this is not as streamlined or automated as we would really hope it could be, but we're going to go find and replace. And so we're going to find the 6 and we're going to replace it with 8. And so let's see, for the specified range, yes. And okay, so that should be the first one. So we want to leave that one. So let's find the next one and let's replace. This is the second Friday. Let's replace it. Then we find the next one, replace the next one. Find the next one, replace it. We're just going to keep doing this. I've come up with a little bit of a rhythm here of doing this. Again, if you had a large data set, you'd need to come up with some better way of doing this, because this is a little ridiculous to just keep doing this. But nonetheless, we are putting this in here. Okay, and now we're done. Great. So you'll notice if this is correct, here we have maroon, gray, gray, maroon for Friday, maroon, maroon, gray, 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 and that should match because this is the second week. That should match maroon, maroon, gray, gray, maroon, and then the next week maroon, maroon, gray, gray, and then we're going to go to that second Friday and it's gray, and that is correct. So what we will do in the next video is come up with a way of assigning these dates and team assignments to put into the Google Calendar using Google Apps Script. Please subscribe to the channel. In the description, you'll find a link to this spreadsheet. You can also give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments if you have any other school districts that you know of that are using a rotating schedule that you would like it to be covered in an upcoming video. Take care, everyone.